Well, what I want to share with you here today is two of the biggest reasons why your horse won't stand for the farrier. So, this horse, and I purposely do this with this guy because, and I do it with him out here loose. Because I can, for one thing. He's out here on the grass. He got no halter or lead rope on him. But one thing I want you to understand are the two major things that I have to laugh about with people is because the biggest thing is people in general are just always going from here to there. From here to there. And think about this. This is going to be this is the most important thing right here. You have to sit down and really think about what I'm saying right here. Because I get the opportunity to actually watch this stuff. So people, when I say that you're always going here to there, you leave home and you go to work, right? You leave work and you go to home. Well, one thing people lack is awareness. You have no idea of what's between here and work. So, what that means in lack of awareness, you're always going somewhere, not paying attention to what happens in between. So every time you're around a horse and you move around the horse, something happens between here and there. Even the fact that my gloves were up here and my chaps were up here. I have to go from here to there to get the gloves and from here to there to put the chaps on. Did anything happen in between? Did the horse move off? I have a couple of fiberglass rods right here. See, anytime you move, it's from here to there. Did anything happen in between? This is what people are not aware of. And yes, I'm smoking. Sorry if it offends anybody, but that's one of my bad habits. So even if you're here, right, in order to get to there, it's going to take me 2 steps. 1, 2. Did anything happen? See? And what I mean by weight shift of the horse. So that's your second worst thing that people are not aware of. Just because I want to go pick up, this is where you're going, right? To the front foot or the hind foot. And even if I go from here to there, did anything happen? I'll tell you right now, if your farriers had a couple horses like this to do, they would probably tell you to take a hike. Other than the fact that most of them need the money, and that's another thing, but we ain't going to get involved in that situation or that conversation. But really, it's either going to be the weight shift is good or no weight shift at all, which is either good or bad. So, the other part of your big downfall there is this is why a lot of you can't ride worth a crap. I'm sorry, but because you're trying to go from here to there and you're not paying attention to the weight shift of the horse. Certain things need to happen weight shift wise for a horse to pick up his feet correctly. if you would get this better with your horse, you would understand how to ride better and stop thinking. It's okay to think of how to get to there, but you got to be aware of what's happening when you're trying to get there. So those are the two biggest things. Learn how to get there from here, and do I need a certain type of weight shift for it to happen? And everybody learns how to ride walk, trot, canter. It's always going forward. You know, there's things that need to happen to get a horse to move his forehand or just to pick up his front leg. I don't have to reposition him. Some people are bothered trying to reposition a horse so that he's standing square. Horses are not stupid. If they want to, they know exactly where you're going, but the other thing is you got to be important enough to the horse for him to actually think about where you're going or what your intentions are. See, he knows right now, because he's been out here eating grass. I didn't do any training with him. I just came over here and I said, I need for you to be with me. I would say he's with me, right? So, you know, that's the other thing about being around horses, understanding when a horse is with you. And I do this specifically with him loose. I'm aware of the fact that he just ate grass and his weight shifted a little bit forward, but I want to know what, you know, he's going to watch and see. He checks with me, and I just have this little communication with him that, no, I still need you to be here. And he understands that fact. So if I change and I go here, he knows what to do. And see, this guy is so light. See, that's weight shift forward. See, the front foot went forward. So if I keep going, see, the other one went forward. So I'm going to say, hey, no, you need to step back here. And I just give him a rub. Now watch his hind foot. Now this time, let's see if does it actually come back. See, it comes back. So his mind is actually back with me here. If I put it down behind him, it's still back this way. This is what you people are not aware of. If someone, see, when he steps forward like that, if someone's up front trying to hold him, you get all these young guys that are willing to struggle with these horses. When that horse is thinking about going forward, you need to change his pattern. If the foot's got to come back, the horse can't be thinking about going forward. Be aware of these things. Don't try to stand up there and hold this horse. The horse is, I can tell you, believe me, I can tell you all the ins and outs of how to get a horse to stand good for a farrier, or for yourself for that fact. The only thing is, it would take me 10 hours. 10 hours and 10 different horses to address every little thing. But 90% of it is because of what you're doing. You're not aware of what needs to be right. You have no idea of the weight shift. What the weight shift should be. If you learn the weight shift, even just handling the feet, it will make you a better rider, because you'll be more aware of what weight shift just happened. See, the world is in so much of a hurry to get from here to there nowadays that you don't learn what's in between. And I can only sit back and laugh because I have the opportunity to. I've stepped away from that lifestyle. I'm really tired of it. And when you sit back like your horse does out in the pasture, your horse sits out in the pasture, he watches you. He watches everything that goes on. He eats grass and he shakes his head. Look at those foolish people. They're always going from here to there, and they're never aware of what's in between. Become more aware and stop going from here to there without observing what happens in between here and there. Did I say it enough in this video? Between here and there. So, and that's why I had Nancy do that video with him out on the front lawn here. Nancy was great about it. She put herself out in the public eye, and how much I heard about, boy, you had to say that enough times. I'm an inexperienced person around horses. But I wanted people to be aware of it. But people weren't even aware of that. There were some other people that made comments on foolish things, because they're only focused on there and not the overall picture. Like I said, if a lot of farriers, if they had a few horses like this to do, they wouldn't want to come to your house anymore. You don't understand it. You really don't.